What are some habits that are good to get into? Serious. Getting everything ready for the next day the night before. It takes less than 5 minutes. I got into this habit in college and continue it now. I lay out my outfit, organize my bag for the next day, and lay out my breakfast and tea. It makes the morning so much easier and less stressful. Every single work night, should I get my clothes picked out for tomorrow now? Nah, that's a task for morning me. Nighttime me wants to Reddit some more, then we'll be too tired to do anything else. Being active. You don't have to hit them gym, but at least make a habit to go out for a walk or something, even if a super short walk. 5 minutes of walking is better than 0 minutes of walking. For those like me with office jobs, try to get up once an hour, walk to the other side of the room or the end of the hall, and come back. It takes less than a few minutes, and anything that breaks up the monotony of sitting at a desk for hours is good for your body and your mind. Hang up your coat as soon as you take it off. Go straight to the closet and hang it up. Whenever you take off an article of clothing, if it's dirty, put it right into the clothes hamper. If it's still clean enough to wear, hang it back up or fold it and put it in the dresser. This sounds trivial, I know, but most of the messes we create are through sheer laziness. Then you still have to clean it up later, and the messier it gets, the more miserable you are contemplating it. Once you get into a simple habit like this, you'll be amazed at how much easier it is to pick up other time-saving habits. Same goes for dishes. Just do them as you cook, and as soon as you're done eating. Exercise. If you can make it a habit, then it can actually be something you look forward to. My brain must hate me then. I have been going to the gym 5 days a week for about 7 months now and still dread going. Get exercise in a different way then. Go swimming or ride a bike. Putting important things that you will need during the day, keys, wallet, on top of something you always encounter before leaving for class or work or whatever. I put my keys or wallet on top of my book bag or phone, and it really helps me remember to grab them before leaving. Also, if you keep your wallet in your back pocket, I've developed a habit of kind of smacking myself to see if it's in there before I open the door to leave. It's weird, but it works. I always do a quick pat of all my pockets before I go anywhere. Also, I have a slight heart attack when those things aren't there. Putting 15% of anything you earn into savings and not touching it. At what point do you touch it? When you have enough to live off of for the rest of your life. Or when you're making a very large purchase, avoiding interest. Everything else you buy you should be able to be purchased with the other 85%. Get out of bed as soon as you wake up. I can knock out more tasks in the first 3 or 4 hours of the day than most people can get done in 12 hours, but it only works if I get up and get moving. There's something about sleeping in and staying in pajamas for hours that turns me into a total slug. If there's something I really need to do or somewhere I need to go by a certain time, I have no problem getting up. But if the day's more relaxed, sometimes I'll jump out of bed to turn the alarm off and then fall into bed and fall asleep within a minute. It takes a lot of motivation for me to just get up. The biggest change I made in my life, which started improvements in every other aspect of my life, was actually cleaning, rearranging, and adding homey things to my apartment. I had moved to a new city in a new state with a girl who subsequently bailed when she met a doctor and left me with barely anything and not a single person that I knew or could rely on. I spent a couple years depressed and alone, and then I decided I had to change, and it had to start with a place I spent all of time. I bought some new IKEA furniture, cheap, relatively stylish, and could be shipped to me. I also got rid of my car when I moved, aired the place out, allowed the sun to enter, moved things around to make it more appealing, and started cleaning regularly, including making my bed every day. Now I wake up to a clean home, I come home to a clean home, and I have a place that I'm not embarrassed to show off on the random chance I meet someone and invite them back without any planning. Also, the act of doing this on a regular basis forced me to adopt them as new habits, taking up time that I would otherwise be spending watching Netflix or playing video games, i.e., being stagnant. I feel more organized, and that has flowed over into my working environment, which is always a good thing. I still indulge in some things like a good scotch and some junk food sometimes, because I look around and actually enjoy where I am. So, as a very long-winded answer, clean up after yourself, make your home a place that is a healthy place in which you can spend your time, and keep it that way. throw things out, recycle on a regular basis, and generally keep your life and space uncluttered. Another good thing about keeping up your cleaning is that you will eventually have a higher standard of living and will want to keep your place clean more to keep that standard. Another important habit is continuously getting rid of stuff you no longer need or don't like. The less stuff you have, the less you have to keep clean. When the dog gives you that, "Can we go for a walk today?" face, get in the habit of giving in, human. It will do you both some good. People don't walk their pets every day. We walk ours several times per day. If you don't live in a big city, it's probably not necessary every day. If you have a decent yard, especially with a doggy door, they can exercise themselves chasing birds, lizards, their tails. Budget. Always know what bills you have coming up, what money you have coming in, and where that money is going. Always knowing how much money you have will help you make wise decisions, save, and appreciate the things you have. Saving needs to be a part of a budget. There is a saying, pay your bills, then pay yourself, meaning that save for yourself before you spend on non-essentials, like cable and other things that one does not need to live. Changing your car's oil. A friend of mine went 20,000 miles without doing so, and was then surprised when the bed on them. While routing oil changes are necessary, getting them every 3K miles is completely unnecessary. I typically go between 5 to 7K miles between oil changes in my car, and it is in pristine condition. Follow the manufacturer's guidelines. My RAV4 calls for 3,000, but my last car had a 10,000 mile interval. There is a Consumer Reports study of oil changes in a fleet of NYC taxis, as well as lots of gearheads that send their oil off for analysis that validate longer oil change intervals. For the most part, the 3,000 mile interval is a myth for modern cars and oils. Flossing. Flossing only takes a minute to do each night and could potentially save you thousands of dollars on dentist bills. It really is worth it, especially if you want to keep your teeth for a long time. Smiling at strangers makes you happier and makes you seem like a pleasant person. To go along with that, I've gotten into the habit of asking baristas and servers and the like how they are doing before I make my order. I never realized how many people absent-mindedly bark orders at them. I live in Norway. You can't start a conversation with a stranger unless there is an actual purpose to the interaction. Sure, you can ask people for directions, you can buy things in stores and buy beer at bars, but don't ask people how they are doing. That's just weird. Make more than minimum payments on any loan or outstanding balance you owe. An extra $20 here and there is $20 less that will accrue interest. You pay off your debts more quickly and don't necessarily make a huge financial sacrifice. I wrecked my first car in June 2011 and needed to build my credit. So instead of spending $2,000 on another little beater car, I got an $8,000 loan for a nicer car. Minimum payment, $169 a month. Payments I'm actually making, $200 a month. Some months, my husband and I will make a double payment or throw in an extra $50 on top of that automatically scheduled withdrawal of $200, and my car is almost paid off. I hardly notice that extra $30. It's less than a tank of gas costs. But I'll have paid my 5-year loan off in just over 3 years. My husband paid off his $14,000 car loan in about 3 years as well. He has a 799 credit score. Not a whole lot of 25-year-olds I know can say that. That's 2 years of interest that I'm not giving the bank. 2 years of no payments. 2 years of extra money in my pocket every month. 2 years. I'm pregnant and my son's due date is in 3 weeks. Being able to free up that monthly payment soon is going to be amazing. Good advice for most people, but if your interest rate is really low, it might make more sense to invest and get a higher rate of return. Make a habit of getting things done at that very instant. In other words, stop procrastinating. Once you are finished with something, chores, assignments, before the deadline, you have a great feel of satisfaction and have extra time on your hands. I've been doing a lot of 2-minute rule thinking at work. If something comes along that will take less than 2 minutes to do, I immediately pause whatever I was working on and take care of it. It's helpful. Fewer easy tasks get delayed, less to-do list backup, people are happier with quick turnaround. Being punctual. This is a habit I struggle with, because I'm late a lot of the time, but I'm starting to try and make more of an effort. My motto for this is, if you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. If you're late, you're fired. That sounds like military on time. Good way to think, except don't be early showing up to someone's home, because they need the time to finish straightening up, combing their hair, or hiding the bong. Do dishes and tidy up every night. No matter how tired, how long your day has been, just do it. You will find your house is never really messy if you do it every day, and then you end up with time to do the weird things that you never get around to. Also, do the bulk of the dishes as you're cooking. It doesn't always work out that you can do this, but if dinner is in the oven and you have 20 minutes to kill, why not clean? This way, after, when you're relaxed and full, there's no worry of cleaning. George Washington Carver's 8 Virtues. First, be clean both inside and out. Second, neither look up to the rich or down on the poor. Third, lose, if need be, without squealing. Fourth, win without bragging. Fifth, always be considerate of women, children, and older people. Sixth, be too brave to lie. Seventh, be too generous to cheat. Eighth, take your share of the world and let others take theirs. Ralph Waldo Emerson's 3 rules of life: be silly, be honest, be kind. Think about what you're going to say before you say it. I do this and then never speak. There's a middle ground. In general, the context will dictate it. In public, be quiet, reflective, and cautious. In private with loved ones, be silly and honest, open and sincere. If you find someone who will love you even when you say everything that comes to your mind, then put a ring on their finger or make a friend for life, depending on gender compatibilities, previous relationship states, etc. But don't expect everyone to love you as much as those precious people do.